Hello everyone, this is Fenris Lycon, here to continue our Omnifactory, and I've found some diamonds, but I've been struggling to find a good source of iron. But we do have enough for now, and we're going to go for two machines. We're going for our wire mill and our basic compressor. And we could have made a compressor before making our circuits, but I believe it wants you to make the circuits for the wire mill first. They both require kind of a lot of wire, so I think that's the idea, but we are also going to need power, and the way we're going to do that is with this steam dynamo, and we're going to need a little infrastructure. So I've kind of gotten that set up. I'm going to do our fluid conduits in our machine. I'll end up making this one kind of like our infrastructure, so we'll teach it both of and also the iron energy conduits. So we have both of those done. Hey. Next we need water for the steam. And right here we have it set up. It's really pretty easy, just raw iron plates and some water buckets. Grab that. We'll just claim all these quickly so it doesn't keep bringing me back to those wrenches. Excellent. So, there's also one other thing. This will produce redstone power, where we need kind of the EU that GregTech and like Industrial Craft uses. So we'll need a machine to kind of convert it, and these work as, I believe, a buffer too. I believe you can put a battery in them. So we're going to start working on the steam dynamo. Yeah. There's a few things we need to make. I have the iron furnace already made. We've made one of those before. And I've decided I'm going to remove the hammer and the wrench. I'm going to use teach it to make the gear we need. So we're going to need 4 plates. I took out the file. We'll need that eventually. 4 rods. And of course, actually we need 2, so we'll just have to double that. Easy peasy. There we go. We'll lock that in. And so we also are going to need a transmission coil. Pretty easy. The other thing I want to make is a backpack. So pretty easy to make, just some leather, wool, and tin. This will actually help me with mining. And it's going to be made out of silver. And, oops, this is why I had the file out. Very similar. We're going to, I think it's like this, yeah. Make some silver rods. And surround it with some redstone. We have our transmission. Next, so we have all of these. Yep, I already have the copper plates. We need the coil, so some alloy plates and conductive coils. So I have the gold for that. Let's file them down into rods. And I think, yep, like this. And we can balance the grid. Get 2. And finally get our coil. Now we have all the parts to get our first source of power. Excellent. So I'm going to use this like setup right here. And kind of just to start, we'll end up moving basically everything. I'll actually wait. If I shift click, no. Well, I'll need to put a block down. I want it face this way. But, so we got all of this. Now, I'm going to, let's see, what the book does say. It's going to want us to make one of these next, and some conductive iron cable to actually move the power around. So, we'll get that. I think let's see. I'll be kind of right back once I have all of the components together for that. And we should be pretty good. I'll be right back. Should be ready now to make our CEF. First thing we're going to want to do is get these wrought iron plates, surround them with a wrench, and we'll get these machine castings. I'm going to make 2 because we will need them also for our first machines. And we're going to need some wires. And we've made wires before, but this time we're going to be making tin wires. Same way, convert them into plates, cut the plates, and we'll wrap them in rubber. Next, we can convert these casings into actually the machine hulls. Very similar. We'll take our cables, put the wrought iron plates above it, and we'll get 2 of them. Now, we've made all these before, and in fact, I think we need 1 more. So we need to make some more conductive iron wire. So let's do that quickly. And this is 4, so we'll have to combine them. So we'll have to make 8 altogether. Make the plates, cut the wires. Oh, actually, I had some. I knew I thought it was. It's like, hey, why didn't I make these before? The answer is I did. So we'll combine them into 2 times. Whoops. 2 times into 4 times. And in fact, I accidentally made an extra one, but that's okay. We'll definitely end up using them. And now we have our CEF, which will convert our RF power into Greg Tech Power, EU. Now, we've got that done, and we should be able to now, there's one more thing we need to do to actually do the quest, is we need to make some more of these cables. This time we're going to want to actually cover them. And I'm just going to convert these back down. And the reason I'm going to want to convert them back down, how many does it want us to make? 4 of them. I need a little bit more. So 2 and then 4, so that should be 6. And the reason I'm converting them down is we can cover them in rubber. I need 6 more. When they're small, but we can't do that when they're big until we have a machine. Like if we can combine them first, and then we'll combine them up to 4 times. And these wires, they don't use have a loss. A lot of times in Greg Tech and Industrial Craft, they do have a loss. And kind of the way to think of these wires is it's like a road or a highway more specifically. And the width of your lanes is the voltage. So if one of your like trucks or whatever is bigger than 32 wide, it'll burn up the cable. And then amperage is like how many can go together. So we have 4 amperage, which means we have 4 lanes. So we can have 4 kind of pulses, 4 packets to go down at the same time. And if not, they will burn up the wire. So either they will hit the edges of their lanes, or they'll hit too many of the packets. So we should have that all set. We'll need to make one of our machines. Which one is it going to want? Okay, so this is just kind of explaining powers. If you put too much, you'll burn the cables. I think this one makes it so it tries to burn the cables, and then... Okay, so it's... Which one does it want us to do first? I personally am a big fan of the compressor, generally, the plate bender, and a lot of other kind of packs. But we'll just do the wire mill. And I think the reason why it wants us to do the wire mill is the compressor is actually a little bit harder. The pistons are kind of annoying. So we're going to get that, and I'm going to set up one of these work tables to actually make motors. And if we have enough room, then we'll put the pistons into them too, but I'll get that set up and I'll be right back. Okay, I have one of these work tables set up for everything we need. And so we're going to need 4 of these motors. That means we're going to need 12 of these rods, 16 of the wires. So let's get that going. I already kind of put a little bit, but we'll make rods very similar to how we made the wrought iron. And I already have one of these magnetic ones. And that's just taking one of the iron rods, putting some redstone, and we magnetize it. So we've gotten that. And we need 16, so we got 15 of these plates. And after we have, I had just enough, perfect. Convert all of that. We'll also need a few tin. It's 2, we're making 4. So I will need 8. I already have 1, so that will be 7. Oops, I actually broke that recipe. We'll convert that all down. Excellent. And now we should be able to get this recipe set up. In fact, I don't even have to do it manually. I can just import it in. We should be able to make 4 of these. 3 of these, huh? What did I miss? I didn't magnetize one of these. There we go. So we have our 4 from previously. We also have 2 of our primitive circuits that we made before. We just need 2 tin wires. We need those to actually be covered. And that should be everything. So if we go to our crafting table, yep. And we officially have our first machine. And now all of our wires are so much cheaper. Instead of going for 2 ignits to 1 wire, we're going to go from 1 ignit to 2 wires. So we're like basically tripling. Okay, I have this set up incorrectly, and I think I'll waste kind of just this power. I think I want to actually do something more like this. Okay, let's go in the right place. Extract, insert, let's get some coal. And specifically charcoal. Okay. Ooh, you don't like teeny. Okay. I'm assuming then I have this. We should also. This one does let you do a wrench. Okay, so if I put this down, it will have 2. No, only 1. So normally, I should be able to rotate it in case it's the side that indicates is the one in which you leave power, but no, it was working. I wonder if we have to put a battery in. Because at least how the battery buffers work is generally you put a battery and that's how many amperages are you putting out. I'm going to check the book very quickly on what it says, and I'll be right back once I get this working. Okay, I have it actually working now. I had it active with a signal, so I wasn't actually outputting the RF. We have this filled. We have power here. So now if we take some copper, we'll need plenty of it. We add it in. We have our wires. It only takes 1. Next, we can take that off our list. The compressor. We're going to be making these pistons. Not too bad, especially when we have these plates and they're much, or these motors, and they're much cheaper. I'm going to get kind of everything ready, and I'll be right back. It looks like one. I need to. Let's see. Can one of these power? Okay. So we are going to run into problems with only one. That a single one cannot maintain, and if it runs out of power, it resets the recipe. So we have our soft hammer, and we can turn it off, let the power kind of build back up, turn it back on, let it run, and this can act as a little battery buffer. So I'm going to be right back once I have kind of all the wires and all the materials to make the pistons, and we'll make our compressor, and that will be probably the last machine we make in this episode, and this will help speed up and make all of our other machines so much cheaper. I'll be back. Okay, I have everything together to make our first piston, and it's pretty easy. We've made these plates before, we've made these raw iron, the gears, of course the motors. Motors are the hardest part, and just 2 of the tin. So we need 2 of these for the compressor. This also should be, yep, a quest. And, whoops, there's one other thing. I need to make one of these machine hulls. As long as I have I need some tin. I can quickly make a bunch of plates. And I have a wrench on me, so let's quickly make the machine hull. There we go. So pistons, machine hull. We need just a little bit of iron and tin. I have my tin here. I have my iron. So it's 4 of these plates. And this is going to be the last time we need to make these plates by hand. Excellent. We have the compressor now. We'll put it right here. These are probably the 2 most important machines. And generally, like, if the cables take power, I like to put the machines we're using most often closer to our power source. But it's not as important. And this is where I'm going to leave it off. I believe, so the next machine I would be making, let's see if it agrees, it looks like we can branch out, would be the lathe. And that makes it, it's probably the least important of these machines because it just gives you a little bit of the material back. So it's not quite like doubling. I think it's, but we're going to be making so many machines, we want to do it as efficiently as possible. We're going to look into increasing our power. One of these cannot run the basic wire mill, and we kind of want to be able to do that. There's a few tricks we can do with this. We also want to make it more efficient. I think too, I'll double check, there's going to be upgrade, and we'll go and get the other machines. So the lathe, alloy smelter, very useful. And I think those are the machines, maybe the macerator, but it's kind of the least important one. Normally you want to get the doubling going, but in this pack, ores are pretty common, so you can put it up, but we'll probably grab that one. And after that, we'll get into my favorite part, which will be the logistic pipes, and we'll start doing automation. A lot of people wait until they get into HV, and they can use the applied energetic. But I love just seeing kind of the crafting actually happening, the items moving through pipes. But I'll see you guys next time. This is Furnace Lycon, signing out.